안녕하세요. Back with another SM Christmas track. I didn't pick all SM tracks intentionally. It's just that there's so many of them, you know? Like they've done a lot. And it's just interesting. I picked the ones that just seemed like they would be the most interesting. I mean, I had to do Red Velvet and aespa, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way that you cannot do that one. And then I wanted to check out Super Junior because, you know, Heat Jewel, and it was Super Junior, and I hadn't heard them before. Girls' Generation also, you know, I was interested in hearing the groups, you know what I mean? And it just so happens that they're all SM groups. It wasn't based off of that though. These were just like the ones that I was most interested in, based on who the group was, right? So now EXO, the last time I checked out EXO, the first time I checked out EXO, it was for Don't Fight the Feeling, which is an awesome song. Some people have mentioned that it was something done for the fans, and not all of the members were present. Some of them were off doing their mandatory service for the time. But it's still a great song, man. Like I enjoy it very much, and I've heard it many times. And so of course I saw that EXO had done a Christmas tune, and it's called Miracles in December. And I thought, yeah, I gotta check this out, you know. I guess what I'm thinking is that, kind of like with the Girls' Generation, with Christmas stuff in general, right? We get a lot more of the vocal side of it. You know, you get to really hear the vocal work that's going on. And so I thought it would be a cool one to check out, you know, and really get an idea for the sound there. I know it isn't, well, I know there's two versions, right? There's the Korean version, and then there's the Mandarin version. And so there is a slight difference as far as the members who are performing each one. A slight difference, because there's three members in each version. I think only one member is different between the two. So on a search, the top video that comes up is going to be for the Korean version. So let's check out and hear a little bit more of the vocal work for some of the members of EXO from Miracles in December, the Korean version.
보이지 않는 널 찾으려고 애쓰다 들리지 않는 널 들으려 애쓰다 보이지 않던 게 보이고 들리지 않던 게 들려 너 나를 떠난 뒤로 내겐 없던 힘이 생겼어 늘 나밖에 몰랐었던 이기적인 내가 yeah. 네 맘도 몰라줬던 무심한 내가 이렇게도 달라졌다는 게 나조차 믿기지 않아 네 사랑은 이렇게 계속 날 움직여 난 생각만 하면 세상을 너로 채울 수 있어 넌 송이 하나가 네 눈물 한 방울이니까 하지 못하는 것은 널 내게로 오게 하는 이 초라한 초능력 이젠 없었으면 좋겠어. 늘 나밖에 몰랐었던 이기적인 내가 네 맘도 몰라줬던 무심한 내가 이렇게도 달라졌다는 게 나조차 믿기지 않아. 네 사랑은 이렇게 계속 날 움직여. 시간을 멈춰 내게 돌아가. 추억의 책을 너의 페이지를 열어. 난 그 안에 있어. 너와 함께 있는 것 아주 조그맣고 약한 사람이 너의 사랑이 이렇게 모든 것 내 삶을 모두 바꾼 것 세상을 모두 사랑이 고마운 줄 몰랐었던 내가 끝나면 그만인 줄 알았던 내가 너 원했던 그 모습 그대로 날마다 나를 고쳐가. 내 사랑은 끝없이 계속될 것 같아. 시간을 멈춰 이제 난 내게 돌아가. 추억의 책을 오늘도 너의 페이지를 열어. 난 그 안에 있어. 그 겨울에 와 있는 것 보이지 않는 널 찾으려고 애쓰다. 들리지 않는 널 들으려 애쓰다.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, like just like I said with the Girls' Generation video and song, the composition is just something else, man. Like this, the sheer musicality of many of your SM productions and many of your SM groups, it's like it's very, very intelligent and sophisticated type of compositional work. You could count this in 4, but I'm getting a feel of 2 actually. I'm just listening to when the chords change. It would seem like if you count 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, because you get chord changes after every sort of 2 count, right? So I'm leading towards this actually written in 2. We have, as far as instrumentation, piano and strings. So this is pretty much a strings type of piece. Piano is really accentuating and carrying most of the progression until it starts to build up towards the end, right? The strings come in and do a lot of work on the high end. And then you even get cello sounds like towards the end too. It just sort of becomes a more full all-around mix and everything. And we didn't have subtitles here, and I should have looked up the lyrics before. I wasn't sure if there would be subtitles or not. But I do know that the song is a little bit sadder. It's about a guy who like I guess the girl's gone now, right? Like he's would like to have sort of a happy time at the holidays, but she's not around anymore. So you know it happens, man. It happens. You know, it's like it's real, man. It's real. Um, so I definitely get that point. You know, I understand the vibe. I understand it for sure. Really, really, again, impressive vocal work, man. Strong. You don't get like every SM group has very strong vocals. There's not anybody who like, oh, I can kind of sing. No. Like everybody has like really, really high level singing ability. And it's like it's no different, you know, with this group here. And again, you know, in the Girls' Generation video, we had a subunit with three members, so a 3-part arrangement. And in this song also, we have another three, like a subunit of 3 members. So we get this 3-part harmony arrangement for the song. And they have very, very strong voices in the sections where the harmonization comes in. Like there are two. There's 2 parts. There's 2 of them are harmonizing together, but their voices are so like strong, and it doesn't feel like it's only 2. You know what I mean? It feels bigger than that. But you watch and you realize like, oh wait a minute, only 2 of them are singing together, and then you get sort of a, you know, between the harmonization and the melody parts, right? It's sort of split up between half. You get harmony, and then a sort of melody part comes in, and it's like, wow, it's just very, very strong, man. It's very, very strong. The aesthetic, you know, every like the color choice for the video, the sort of grays and the off whites, you know, it matches the tone color for the song. We're very minor, right? This is a sad song. This is a little bit of a somber type of piece, but it's still a very good example of the vocal abilities of these group members here. It's ridiculously strong, man. It's like it really is. You just these SM groups are very, very impressive. So a little bit of you know, it's a little I mean, it's again, it's somber sweet, right? It's a little bit dour compared to the things that we've heard so far, right? Everything else was a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more on the brighter side. And so we have a boy group coming in now that wants to take it minor, make it a little bit more, you know, somber, a little bit more reflective, a little bit more. I mean, even when he, you know, does the part and time sort of starts to move backwards, right? And but then you know, it's like she's almost there. Like everything starts to go backwards. The snow starts to go up instead of falling down, and it looks like she's gonna be there, but then she's not. You know, it's like because you can't actually do that. You know, and you can trick yourself. You can make yourself think or feel like it's possible. Like you can change time itself, but you can't really. You know, it's interesting. It's an interesting sort of way to treat the concept. You know. But let's see. Again, the piano intro, right? Just like in the Girls' Generation video and song. And this stuff is really, really well written, man. And there's a lot of what you could call like pickups. So like if we're counting in two, right, and we're basically going to count 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, what you'll hear is that on the and of the 2, that's when you actually hear notes starting to play. And you'll hear like for the 1 and then you'll hear on the and of 2, the next notes from the next chord in the progression will start up, and it's usually going to go up to like your third or your fifth or some or even the one one of the notes in the chord, because when you finally hit the beat, your root's going to come in, the chord sound is going to be established there, but you get these little pickup sort of these tones that lead you into each chord. And it's a very smart composition stuff, man. In terms of compositional like music writing, this is very, very smart stuff. This is high level stuff. This is what you go to school for, right? Right, those opening notes, di da da doom, right? 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. See how we get like a chord change? If it was in 4, you would be able to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and chord change there. But it's not, I mean, you could count faster, but it doesn't make sense to, right? So that's why I get the feeling that to me this seems like it's written in 2.
들리지 않는 널 들으려 애쓰다 보이지 않던 게 보이고 들리지 않던 게 들려 너 나를 떠난 뒤로 내겐 없던 힘이 생겼어 늘 나밖에 몰랐었던 이기적인 내가
Very dramatic, right? So the register of this particular voice here sits a little bit higher than the one that first came in. But when it came in, this part here, we also got the string sound that came in, right? And we got a lot of low end string sounds that came in. So the beginning, that was very minimal with just the piano chords that were going on, and the first voice that sits sort of mid-range. As we move into this other section, it opens up, it splits, right, and in your instrumental, the low end really fills out, and then the melody in the voice jumps up and sits higher above it. It's just the song is expanding as it's moving on and getting a little bit more gravity to it, right?
네 맘도 몰라줬던 무심한 내가 이렇게도 달라졌다는 게 나조차 믿기지 않아 네 사랑은 이렇게 계속 날 움직여
So sort of bringing it back down, right? So it expanded, right? And then the strings sort of started to get thinner, right? It dropped out the low end stuff. We got a little bit of sustained violin notes that were going on. And the voice changed again from the higher end and brought it down just a little bit, right? And the piano comes back in. It becomes a little bit more centric within the mix. So we had this nice sort of, shape to it where it expanded and then it closed up again towards the end. It's actually very cool stuff, man. It's very cool. I always want to see what this stuff looks like on the page, like what the scores look like, the actual transcriptions of the music. Because it I can imagine it in my head, you know what I mean, and you can just get a sense for what the these shapes are throughout the song structure. It's very interesting stuff, man. It's very cool, very high level.
난 생각만 하면 세상은 너로 채울 수 있어. 넌 송이 하나가 네 눈물 한 방울이니까. 단 한 가지 못하는 것은 널 내게로 오게 하는 일. 이 초라한 초능력 이젠 없었으면 좋겠어.
All very soft harmonizations there. Very, very subtle, right? It's parts where it's only one voice, but there are certain sections, certain parts of those lines that it doubles. But it's so subtle, man. It's like they're keeping everything narrow right now, but it's going to really sort of open up and expand again.
나밖에 몰랐었던 이기적인 내가 네 맘도 몰라줬던 무심한 내가 이렇게도 달라졌다는 게 나조차 믿기지 않아. 네 사랑은 이렇게.
Really great range, man. Really great range. He's not breaking into his head voice there. That's all right here. That's how you get such strong resonance in it. That's all chest voice still. So his register sits up a little bit higher, but it still sounds so full and so strong because he's not going falsetto. He's not breaking up into the head voice space. Interesting choice because we'll see, but I don't think anybody does. I think every voice stays contained down in the chest voice, because I have no doubt that all of them can go up into head voice, can produce a falsetto. So it's a choice, in other words, to stay resonant, to stay in the chest voice space, and that might be part of the concept too. It might be about what's in here, in other words, you know what I mean? So
계속 날 움직여 시간을 멈춰 내게 돌아가 추억의 책을.
oh, so that's great, dude. That harmonization is so good. It's so good, man. And they sustain, you know, at the end of the phrase, they sustain that note. And it's so, again, with SM groups, it's just so good. It's so tight. The intervals are perfect. They're absolutely perfect with the chord that they're outlining. In other words, somebody's got the root, somebody's got the third, and somebody's got the fifth, right? And it's just, oh man, it's so good. It's so good, dude. Like it's perfect stuff.
너의 페이지를 열어 난 그 안에 있어. 너와 함께 있는 건 아주 조그맣고 약한 사람이 너의 사랑이
Nice syncopation.
내 삶을 모두 바꾼 것 세상을 모두
Back and forth. Get big now. Big. Epic stuff.
끝나면 그만인 줄 알았던 내가 너 원했던 그 모습 그대로 날마다 나를 고쳐가. 내 사랑은 끝없이 계속될 것 같아. 시간을 멈춰 이제 난 내게 돌아가 추억의 책을 오늘도 너의 페이지를 열어 난 그 안에 있어. 그 겨울에 와 있는 건 보이지 않는 널 찾으려고 애쓰다. 들리지 않는 널 들으려 애쓰다
Fantastic ending. Really, really good, man. Just the vocal phrases start to get a little bit shorter, a little bit more concise. You even had that little bit from the cello sound in there, and it was almost like a sigh. And then, the even the piano, the way it just sort of wraps up at the end, it's a very, very fantastic sort of ending. It's perfect for the song because it doesn't feel quite resolved, but what a great performance, man. Just really powerful voices, each one, and the harmonization was perfect, man. Such control, such the application of vibrato, sustain, right? When you have a individual voice part that's going on, and to make it more impactful and to articulate and to apply vibrato and to have such control and have so much resonance and such a strong chest voice on a lot of this delivery here. And then when it comes time to harmonize, each one finds their place perfectly, finds their pitch perfectly, and the sustain is perfect again. It doesn't it's just very, very good, man. And it's very, very good composition. Like this is really, really awesome in terms of the musicality. So a bit somber, a sadder song, right, for the holidays, but that's a part of it. It's one of these things. It makes sense. It's a strong performance for a male group. Cause I get it, man. I get it. It's just like, yeah, I've been there. You know what I mean? Like I know exactly what is going on. Like, yeah, I understand for sure. It doesn't matter, subtitles or not, right? Language or not. It just I get it, man. I get it. But it's a really, really, again, another one of these beautiful performances. You just don't get anything else from an SM group, man. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much of a part they had in the song writing, in the composition, in actually making the material. Because of course SM is just, they have so many. I mean, they got composers, they got songwriters, they have all that stuff. You know what I mean? But it's very high level stuff, man. This is, this is really gets my it really gets me thinking. It really just gets me thinking in terms of composition and in terms of the musicality and such. And so, that's why I say it's such smart and very thoughtful writing, just overall. And the performance, man, like these guys, what they deliver on the vocal performance, man, it's incredible stuff. These are really, really great voices, man. So strong, just so strong. I mean, because the only thing I can compare it to is what I've heard so far from EXO. So Don't Fight the Feeling is it's a fun song. It's great, man. It's just such a great song. Like but it's really upbeat, and it's really, quite a different vibe, right, from this one. But just going off of just the vocal stuff alone, man, what a strong and incredible performance. And I'm gonna go and take a look at the lyrics too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take a look at exactly what it was that they were saying. I get it already, like I said, without seeing them first. And yeah, I get it. Probably a lot of guys out there can definitely understand. But well, yeah, you have to deal with all sides, and sometimes it's a little bit sadder. Sometimes there's some things that you have to take the time to think about. But that's just life. And for the most part, we had a lot of fun songs leading up to this, and we got some fun stuff to enjoy also until Christmas. So take the time to reflect and just know that it's all part of it. It's all it's all part of the mix. It's all just life. But that was a really great performance. A really excellent composition. Just high level stuff that takes talent to pull off. It just they're very, very high caliber musicians and performers in SM. That's just, the bar is set incredibly high. So, but I'm glad I checked it out. I'm really glad I got to hear more of the vocal work from some of the members of EXO, and of course, I look forward to hearing a lot more. So we'll look forward to that, and let's keep it bright and let's keep it happy, and let's stay warm. So I'm still cold over here, man. But stay warm and have fun, and happy holidays again. Have a very Merry Christmas when it is upon us finally. But that was quite an impressive performance. Check out EXO Miracles in December. Yeah. And I look forward to hearing more from this group. Very much so. Very much so.